But I can remember one moment that kind of changed everything.
But it felt
I don't know.
what?
Maybe that one.
Oh my gosh.
My daughter's named Gwyneth.
Gwyneth, if you're listening, your biggest fan.
I stabbed her in the back. Oh my gosh. I love to tell that story.
Welcome to the Captivate Standard. I'm your host, Ireland Walker. This is the podcast that's setting the bar in all things aesthetics and wellness treatments in Central New York. Let's get into it. Katie, Rebecca, and Kristyna, hi. How are you all doing?
We're good. We're a little nervous.
Very nervous.
I want to start with an icebreaker for all of you. I'll start with Katie.
Okay.
What's the moment in your life that most shaped the path that you're on today?
That's a good question. I would just say, I think this is going to be a cheesy answer, but it's when I met my husband, I guess.
Aw, he is the best.
Yeah.
He is the best.
So he's pretty much
supportive.
like been a little bit of a Prince Charming as far as like really helping empower me to do the things that I want to do, the careers that we've made, the career moves that I've made and stuff. So meeting him.
Awesome.
Aw, that's sweet.
What about you, Kristyna?
I would say I think we're all in a very good spot that our husbands are super supportive. And I think that just having the support to say like, yeah, go do it, leave a stable job and go and start something new and work more than you've ever worked before and be there on the nights and the weekends and do it. But just, yeah, it's been a lot of accumulation of everything, kind of getting to this point.
Yeah.
Also, showing my kids that, mom can be home and do all the things and also work really hard. And
They're very proud of us.
yeah, they are.
Would you say the same thing, Rebecca, or no?
Interesting, because I was on like a career trajectory and I, thought I would, retire chief of the department of anesthesia.
Wow.
But I can remember one moment that kind of changed everything. And that was when my kids were young and I was trying to have a little bit better work-life balance, but I still very much wanted to lead and was a leader in the department. And I was told that I couldn't advance any further if I was trying to balance life. And so within 6 months, I left that job. And I don't think if I did that I'd be able to have the bandwidth to start Captivate.
Yeah.
And so that was like a defining moment for me. And of course, my husband's been supportive the whole way too, and family support. But so to echo what the lady said, but that one moment was like, oh,
Yeah.
I got to make some changes.
Yeah, and I never knew that either. And like, look where you are now.
Yeah.
So maybe everything happens for a reason.
I think so.
For sure.
So, Katie, talk about why you wanted to start a podcast, branch off from just a wellness center and do more media communications. Why was that important to you?
I think it's all about telling the story of Captivate. That's what it is, essentially, is just being able to connect with people, a big meaning behind Captivate. And so we do so many things here to offer like holistic wellness. And there's no better way to share what we do than connecting with our employees, each other, and, everyone in the town, of course, by a podcast. So we're just hoping to share what we do.
Kristyna, how would you say it's all going? Just captivate everyone working together.
Any given day differently. I think really, and everything we've created has exceeded, I think, anything we could have planned for. Before we started, we had a very specific business plan, business model, and we are bigger than anyone could have anticipated at that moment in time. And so I think that we just keep getting, I don't want to say bigger and better, but it's just like, okay, yeah, we can add this, we can do that. It's evolving for sure. And I think it's just this momentum and this energy that we have that just people keep joining our team at times when we didn't even know it was someone that we were like, oh, wow, we need this person. Like you, for example, it just kind of came together and we were like, wow, we could finally launch this podcast we've been talking about. Yeah. So it's been a lot of we're putting good energy out there and things are coming back to us. And yeah, it's bigger than we could have ever hoped at this point. And it's just really exciting. Yeah. I think it's just, that is our energy all the time. We're always excited. We're always thinking about new things and really able to make them happen. So it's really awesome.
Yeah. And it's fun to watch you guys as well have all the ideas come to life, the conversations. And I won't announce anything right now, but all the things that are happening behind the scenes that actually do come to life. So it's really cool. Rebecca, so can you talk about Captivate, what it means to all three of you, what it is, just sum it up for people that maybe don't know what Captivate is.
Ooh, so I think Captivate can be whatever you want it to be. Mm-hmm. I envision as a place that anyone can come at in any point in their like health and wellness journey. And regardless of what they're coming for, just to kind of become a better version of themselves, whether that's beauty, whether that's weight loss, whether that's mental health. It's a place where there's something for everybody. And, you know, everyone's self-care journey is different. So I think that's not one answer.
There's so much to it. And I think that's one reason why all three of you connected together so well to create Captivate. Katie, I guess, can you share the full story of how you met? I know bits and pieces. So like your husband knows Rebecca or Kristyna and something got entangled there.
We were all tied by Krause Hospital, essentially.
Okay.
Local hospital,
Yeah. So my husband is a CRNA and Rebecca's an anesthesiologist and Kristyna's a PA, and they all work together in the operating room. And I met Rebecca first when I was pregnant with Bennett, and she did my epidural.
I stabbed her in the back. Oh my gosh. I love to tell that story.
I knew her from working there too, but we became friends. We started to like go to exercise classes and stuff like that. And then it just grew from there, our friendship. And then Kristyna approached my husband. I didn't know who she was, and asked her, because she had a little boy and I had a little boy. Well, she had two. And she's like, we need a play date because I had all my son has just girlfriends. Yeah. And I was like, who is this girl? So I Facebooked her. I looked her up on Facebook and I was like, she's so pretty. Why does she want to hang out with us? So, but then we had a play date and we got along so well and we started hanging out all the time in our families. And my husband doesn't like to hang out with people. So it was really nice. Him and Trev got along really well. Yeah. So that's kind of how we all got to know each other.
So we met in healthcare and then relationships outside of healthcare started to build, I would say.
Yeah. And speaking of healthcare, I want to introduce you all a little bit, just your backgrounds and education. You'll have very impressive resumes. So Kristyna, I'll start with you. You have been a physician assistant for over 12 years after completing your master's degree from SUNY Upstate Medical University. You have also over 8 years of experience as a plastic surgeon PA, experience working in the emergency department, and years of medical research from Johns Hopkins. You're now training for the Allergan Medical Institute as well. How do you manage all of this school, and how was each experience for you?
I know you say that, and I'm like,
right, so much.
And take a breath.
I know. It's a lot to process. Thank you for that wonderful introduction. It definitely was a lot, and there were a lot of hard years through all of that. I was doing my undergrad and doing research at Hopkins because it was just in that moment, you're just like, okay, I just got to grind through this to get to the next step, to get into, for the longest time, I was thinking about medical school, and then ultimately PA school is the better fit for me, how to get in, how to apply. And then throughout PA school, I actually had to move to a very remote area of New York that, again, it was just by myself in a town that no one knew. And you just are like, okay, just immerse yourself in my studies, just get it done. And I think that just kind of helped me find my like inner drive and just always be like, okay, I'm solid in my foundation and what kind of person I want to be, what kind of PA I want to be, how I want to treat my patients. And that just kind of echoes throughout everything I do. Just like work hard, be honest, be caring of people, and just, remember where you came from, remember how you worked to get here. Yeah. But those were a lot of years of hard work and throughout everything, but it all just kind of comes together to continue to shape me and to just keep my core principles. I think when you find something you're really passionate about, which day in, day out, I'm injecting people and helping, it's so rewarding. And I love what I do. I'm so passionate about it. The people I meet along the way, the people you get to know their stories. Each patient that comes in is so much more than just someone I'm going to inject. You get to know them. And so that really just fuels you on a daily basis. Like it just helps me to be like, oh, I can't wait to see so-and-so and see how they're doing. And so it really it's come full circle. I'm so blessed to be in this situation that I am, created this beautiful space. And I feel like I'm like, okay, all of my hard work has come to this point, and I'm just so happy every day. So
And it's paying off.
yeah,
Definitely.
yeah.
Patience lover.
Yeah.
We have to keep her on time.
Yeah. I mean, everyone knows when I'm late. It's because I'm like, he did what?
Yes, chatting.
Yeah.
So, Katie, for you, you bring 15 years of nursing experience from the University of Rochester, Lemoyne College, a bachelor's degree in biology. You worked in labor and delivery while in nursing school, as well in the ICU at Krause Hospital. I'll take a breath.
Strong, yes.
She's a hard worker.
And then you went into medical device sales. So similar to Kristyna, you have such a diverse background in healthcare, working in multiple places, then moving to sales. How has that prepared you to open and run Captivate?
So obviously I didn't know Captivate was going to exist early on. My grandmother was a nurse as well. And I feel like all of my decisions in healthcare were like formed because of things I needed to do for my family. So a lot of like becoming a nurse was to like learn how I can help my family. Mental health runs in my family pretty strong. So there's been a lot of things that have shaped me, why I went to school, why I went to medical device sales. Everything was because how it could help my family and my foundation. A lot of people don't know that, but I went to nursing school. I didn't know I was going to go to nursing school. I went to undergrad at Lemoyne, and I thought I was going to go to medical school, and it just wasn't the right fit for me. I partied a little too hard in undergrad, but I think it worked out. And then I went to U of R in a very rigorous program, and I worked nights while going to school. So I worked in labor and delivery, and then I would go to school during the day, so they would pay for it because I came from a very like economically hard family, so I needed it to be paid for, and then so all of the entire nursing school was paid for because I worked full time, so they paid for it at U of R. And then I went into medical device sales after I became a nurse, because after the ICU, after working at Cross for a little bit, it just kind of fell into my lap. Someone reached out to me, they needed a nurse, and I did deep brain stimulation for years.
That's so cool.
Yeah. So I would help the surgeons help them find the trajectory where they would put the stimulators in the brain for people with Parkinson's disease, essential tremor. And I loved it. But having small children while running up and down the throughway, so much travel, like 100,000 miles a year, and being away from home a couple nights a week was tough. So so we decided, my husband actually gave me the idea of like, let's do something different. And so then. Yeah.
Well, thank you for sharing that. I know you're all very centered around family and do things with them in mind all the time. And I didn't know that. Well, you also have a huge resume here. I'll go into it. So, and correct me if I'm saying this wrong, but you completed the Doctor of Osteopathic Medicine program.
Yes, I did.
Okay, at Virginia Tech in 2004. You also did your residency at Johns Hopkins Hospital in 2012. Since 2009, you have been practicing anesthesia as a current physician at the local OR. And you're doing that part-time as well as working here at Captivate. And many people dream to be able to do what you do and have the skills that you have. How do you manage both? How are you able to be in two places at once, essentially?
I know, Rebecca. Tell us.
I mean,
it's a little stressful.
You ask any working mom, and you just have to, you have to know what your priorities are. You have to know where you need help. You have to have supportive people in your life. And women are doing it every day, and so I don't find it that difficult. But I told the ladies when we started this, I was like, I love my career. I love practicing anesthesia. I love being in the operating room. I love doing labor epidurals. And so that was always important that I was going to be able to do that. And I found a way to do that without it interfering with my ability to be the medical director and help grow programs here. I hope that you guys would agree.
Yes, we do.
It is a lot, but as we've grown, we've been able to take a breath and get some help. And we just hired a practice manager. And so being able to outsource, have supportive people around you, I mean, it's a village. It takes a village to be able to do what all of us do.
Yeah. Wonderful. So the big leap from healthcare into starting a business, owning a business, being parents, moms, friends, all of that. I'm curious to know, did any of you come from an entrepreneurial or business owning background, which really inspired you to get this going and give you the courage to actually do it?
So actually, I mean, you say this, and of course, like my dad actually owns a construction company down in Maryland, and he was actually a little opposed to us starting this.
Yeah.
Really? Yeah.
I had to have some combos with her dad.
Really?
He's
Set
a
up
little
straight.
scary.
Yeah.
What did he say?
So, I mean, my parents are both Czech immigrants, and they kind of came to America 42 years ago and like worked for the American dream, right? Like they are some of the biggest patriots you'll ever meet. And they just worked really hard. And my dad like said to me, he goes, you have a stable job. Have like a good income where you are. Why are you going to leave that and jump into the unknown and do all these things? And it was actually my mom who was like, I would get off the phone and she'd call me and she'd be like, you better do this.
Really?
She was like, I know you can do this. And she was like calling me, getting updates. And not that he wasn't supportive or excited for us. And certainly, you guys have gotten to know him and he loves everything that we're creating. He's always the first one to be like, how's this? How's that? But I think he just was like, knowing I have 4 small children, he was just like, why are you going to rock the boat right now when things are steady? And it was just like, because I know I can do better. I don't want to, there's things that I wasn't satisfied with in my old job that I just was like, I want to have control over these things to create, we always go back to an environment and energy somewhere where people want to come and just really have that ability to kind of create amazing things. Yeah. So it's funny that, the one entrepreneur in my life was like, don't do it.
But I think maybe in some way he was trying to protect you.
Definitely.
That's what he did when he moved over here. And so he's like, wait, I did this so I could make this easier for
Correct.
you.
And I think that's what it always was. And I tell him all the time, I go, well, you did this. You told me to go to school. You told me to keep bettering myself. So yeah.
And I don't think he doesn't want to see you fail. No, right? No one ever wants to see that. And
yeah, exactly. He's just like, don't take the harder path. But what do we know?
Right. We're still figuring it out.
Yeah.
So I want to ask if there was a moment or a time where it really clicked for an elevated wellness center med spa, because how you described Captivate was non-traditional, I guess. There's a lot of other places around here that do very similar things to what Captivate does. But I'm curious to know what the conversation was like to be different and how you were planning to be different.
I would say, I think goes down to what we keep saying, the standard of medicine that we practice, our core values. We're never going to do a dishonest treatment. We are just really serious on our medical knowledge and our backgrounds, as well as very caring of the patients that come in the door. And that's what really sets us apart. Everyone's getting a completely customized treatment, a unique treatment. We're taking in all the information, everything that's so important. And that's just at the core of every person that walks in the door. We're going to give you that same kind of specific treatment. And I feel like that's kind of what sets us apart. You're not a number. You're not a patient number. You're so much more than that. And we care about people across the whole spectrum of everything that we do.
Holistic. I think that's what clicks. And when you mentioned my background in osteopathic medicine, that's why I was drawn to that. Treating the patient as a whole person, not just a disease. And I think that's what we try to focus on here when people are coming to improve their health. It's not necessarily treating a diagnosis. It's how can we optimize your health? How can we optimize your longevity? What are, regenerative medicine is emerging. There's so many things to just look at our patients and our clients as a comprehensive, whole person.
And I'll ask you, what was the process like putting it all together from a location to really committing to it, right? You really can't pull out when you have gone headfirst into it.
No.
So getting the licenses, the certifications, how was that process, Rebecca?
I was going to ask Katie.
Okay, Katie, yeah.
Do you remember the defining moment, Katie? The phone calls?
So many phone calls.
Are you in? Are you in?
Yeah. No,
I cannot imagine.
Quite honestly, when what started Captivate originally was I personally wanted to get into IV hydration, right? So I called my brother, who's a production designer and very good at art, and he in a 2-minute conversation came up with Captivate. It was IV absorption back then. But and then I realized, and to your guys' point, doing IV therapy wasn't enough, right? So like healthcare has become fragmented, right? Prior to 3-4 years ago, I felt like we weren't looking at the person as a whole. And Captivate really has just evolved into treating the whole person, mind, body, and soul. Some people need IV hydration, but what I realized was some people need cosmetic wellness. Some people need mental health support. Some people need weight loss support. So we needed something bigger. And that's where I had conversations with these ladies who were the best at what they did. I'm Kristyna. I left a previous injector who was a very good friend because she was better. Oh she's the best in injectables, but also brings a wealth of knowledge and other things, obviously, with her background.
Right.
And then we were actually getting a pedicure, and I was like, we can do this. And it just became a bigger conversation. And then I met with Rebecca. We were like, Rebecca would be the perfect fit because she's such a strong leader and a good mom and good family, has the same morals that we do. And then we all met, and it just kind of went crazy. We were like, let's do it. And it was just, and I don't regret it at all. I mean, we all went so hard, but the lawyer process took probably the longest.
Yes.
You would say that's the hardest part.
The hardest
part. The contracts before we even started.
Oh yeah, contracts.
Like just
getting
forming
licensing.
the license, getting the physicians corporation. All of it was like, I feel like it was like the world was against us starting.
Definitely.
Even just like getting this building permits.
There were so many.
Everybody tried to go against us. That's what it felt like. But we didn't stop. We just.
I don't think we ever thought it was an option to quit. So it was always like, well, what do we got to do? Who do we got to meet with? Who do we got to call? So I think that once we all, realized we were in, and there was no
going back.
No going back.
No. Yeah. And we were like, we're a force. We're gonna get this done. You just talked to Katie? Great. I'm going to call you tomorrow. And then the next day, Rebecca's going to call you and we're going to get this done.
We were really relentless. I will say that we're 3 women with a plan. So, and I mean, the Captivate standard, we have worked so hard to set a certain standard here in Syracuse that didn't exist. And I think it's constantly evolving, and we're really proud of it.
So to that point, 2 years after opening this location, opened up a Skinny Atlas location. Why was that time the right time? I'll ask Rebecca.
Well, I live on the west side of Syracuse, and I feel like sometimes people act like it's, going to the other side of the earth.
They really do.
It's far.
I go to Fayetteville or Manlius, and I think that there's a need. I mean, there was immediately, we tested it out a little bit in a small location, and it was like, yes, we need to be over here too. And so I think the clients.
Yeah, the clients dictate a lot of what we do. Why we research new, treatments.
Therapy, yep.
Yeah, it's just been what people want.
So I think we wanted to have a presence on the west side of Syracuse and, the east side of Syracuse, and it's gone very well so far.
Yes. So I always like to say we want to be in the communities that we live in because we want to be taking care of the people that we care about in our areas and have reach. And we're very supportive of different events in our areas because those are the parents, those are the kids So it's very important to be like Rebecca said, she lives out on the west side. So to have a location there was important.
This episode is sponsored by Captivate Cold, our juice, wellness shot, and protein shake line available exclusively at Captivate Wellness and Skinny Atlas. Captivate Cold is sourced from Pressed and made with nutrient-rich, real plant-based ingredients, never any added sugar or preservatives. Try favorites, like our non-dairy almond milk vanilla protein drink with dates and sea salt, or a rich chocolate protein shake packed with over 30 grams of protein. Also, don't forget to grab a daily citrus, root, or green juice. Thanks to Captivate Cold for sponsoring this episode. Now that we touched on the background, kind of where we are, how we got here, I want to ask Kristyna, what's something you've learned about starting a business and working so closely with others, these 2 other ladies, that has surprised you?
Something that surprised me,
or just that you weren't expecting, or, there's a new challenge every day.
Yeah. Well, I would say that's a great way to put it. There is a new challenge every day.
Lots of fires.
How can we handle that?
Yeah. I think that we kind of touched on this earlier, like how hard it would be and how so many times we felt like we're like, is the world against us right now? Just because it was so hard to get something that seemed so simple. I remember we went to a town planning board meeting.
She had a baby 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, I had a 2-week-old baby that I brought with me. And we were like, but we have to go because it was just to the depth of like what we had to keep digging, like, and keep digging deeper than I even thought any of us knew.
We had to fight for it.
And it kept coming back to like, okay, well, I know I can do this. Or like if Katie went or Rebecca went, I was like, well, we're all a very unified front. So if I can't be there or someone, like, we're all just have each other's backs. And so I would say those are the two like really resounding things was like, we're in it together. And I say this all the time. I was like, Rebecca will not let this fail. Katie will not let this fail. Like all of us are just like, we're in it, but it's been definitely a hard process.
It's just dealing with every day. It brings a new challenge. Yeah. But I think as women, Rebecca said, she was told she couldn't go any higher in her career. No one is going to stop us from doing what we want to do. And I think that resonates with Captivate a lot. Like we really just move forward and we will try harder and we'll make a different, try a different tactic. It's just, we don't give up.
Well, and I think that's not to say we didn't have failures. I mean, we made a lot of bad decisions. We've had to like pivot on a lot Yeah. Like, well, my husband always says like, well, you learn from it though. None of us were business owners.
Yeah.
None of us were office managers. None of us knew HR.
We're professional renovators,
construction managers. Thank you. Yes, add that to our resume. So there were there. It's not like there weren't failures. It was like, okay, we need to pivot. We need to learn from this. We need to get somebody that this is their special. That is better than us. So I think that has been a big learning for all of us. Is like, wow, this is hard. We need help, but we're not giving up.
But then you come out on top after the failures, after everything. You've always come out on top.
We hope so.
We hope so.
Well, and I think each time there was a failure, I don't want to say there was one person that took it the hardest, but it was like, and then the other two would be like, doesn't matter, moving past it. We've already thought about it. So it's like, this is where we always say this is our superpower, being the three of us, is that it's like, okay, one person's driving, the other person's like, okay, I'm in the middle. And so it's like very much like, we're not going to let anyone get left behind or always supportive of each other. You're going through this. So it's just, it's been hard. We've had, like you said, some setbacks and we're just like, okay, keep moving.
Move forward. How are you all able to stay up with what's the most popular, what's the biggest happenings in healthcare and aesthetics? Is there any role models or celebrities, anyone that you guys follow where you just keep going and want to better yourselves and better Captivate?
Well, I always, maybe to like people's annoyance, I always kind of put on a medical hat. And when I start to see trends or something, or even people are like begging us to offer something, I'm like, well, let me step back here. Like, what's the research show? Where are the studies? So I like to follow trends and see what's happening. And, sometimes like, for example, our weight loss program, that wasn't something we were originally going to add. And I was like, is this a trend or is this something that really is going to like go back to our core values? And so, I spent a lot of time researching it and developing a program. And, so I like to keep my eye on things, but, I'm always like, is this safe? What's the research show? And we try not to be like quick to jump on things without researching it.
So Kristyna, can you talk to me about your presence on social media? And even Katie can talk to this too. I know Katie is always doing stories and everything, more on the business side of things, but why do you want to incorporate social media so much into the brand? I know we have a podcast now, which is getting into communications more, posting stories, everything. It's like another part-time job. Almost.
Sure is.
Well, we've hired a lot of people to do it.
I think it's something that this is where we need to have a presence.
Way of the world.
It's not something any of us unfortunately look forward to doing anymore. Except for when you do the fun stuff. That's really us, people, our personalities. But it's also like, I feel like there's a lot of bad information or misinformation out there. So sometimes when I see something that I'm like, oh my gosh, that's so wrong. It fuels me to be like, okay, let me instead of saying make a video to discredit that, just be like, let me just put some good information, some medical knowledge out there and kind of speak onto that, because then that will help people to be more educated. And I think now more than ever, people are coming in and sitting in my chair and being like, so I saw this on TikTok and I want to try this. And I'm like, okay, well, let's talk about what that procedure is, what that will do, and why it does or does not apply to you. So you have to kind of have a hand on the social media. It's important. It can be fun, and we always try and keep it fun.
And people love to see your before and afters.
They do, and it's
so beautiful.
And it is something that anytime one gets posted up there, I'm always just like, oh, she did look good, So it is fun, but it's a lot of work. I'm going to circle back to your question before that you asked about, is there celebrity influence? And I'm going to ask Katie, is there celebrity influence to anything that you do?
Gwyneth Paltrow.
I don't know.
What?
Maybe that one. Oh my gosh.
My daughter's named Gwyneth.
Gwyneth, if you're listening, your biggest fan.
This exact setup was Gwyneth Paltrow.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
No, I actually, Gwyneth Paltrow has always been like a leader in the wellness field, and I feel like she's been a bit of an inspiration to myself, my brother.
I feel like you're always like, what's Goop doing?
What's Goop
I'm
doing?
like, what is Goop doing? I don't know. Katie knows.
But I really do think that we do research everything to make sure that we are setting the standard for everything. I think we're very thoughtful. I love that Kristyna is never controversial on Instagram. If it were me who would do it, I would be very controversial. So I have to like step back and like, she does a really good job with that. Rebecca does a phenomenal job with educating people about ketamine therapy and all the services that we offer. And I think we all bring different strengths.
I could do better.
What I've learned though is like we balance each other out really well. And thinking about it now, I haven't thought about it before, but we need each other in order to present our Captivate in good form. We're never tacky. We're never like controversial. We're never insulting other people to make ourselves look better, which is very common.
Also, I do want you to touch on students and partners and other important people that we have in here that we really value. But what is the Captivate client?
Well, the Captivate clients started with a lot of Kristyna's old clients.
Okay.
Right? I mean, it's true.
That's literally how we started.
She literally was, her clients were the foundation of everyone. And then it's branched off from there. And I think it became, it's really doesn't discriminate. I think that's really important. There's going to be people who come in here for some Botox and discover that they feel like internally need a little help, a little, mental health, or like have nutrient deficiencies. So it really does not discriminate. There is no Captivate client, I feel like, because we have people who are SU sports players who come in here to use the sauna or get IV therapy after a game for recovery. And then we have people who come in and get, Silfirm and all sort of aesthetic stuff. Then we have people who come in and get ketamine therapy. So there's so many different levels to Captivate, and it's all about like uncovering different levels and appealing to different people's, what they need. And it's about listening to their story and being able to provide everyone with a comprehensive program. And so I'll say there is no specific Captivate client.
Yeah. And what I love is when someone does come in here and they're getting, an IV or they're getting something simple, I guess. And then all three of you are here at once. And then if they express another concern or they're just chatting, it's like, oh, well, Kristyna is actually here. If you were like needing something else, or Rebecca is downstairs. Yeah. There's always someone to answer a question and fit every need that someone may have, even if they didn't come in for that.
And we're all so passionate about everything. So it's really we love to talk about what we do, and it's not just like selling someone, and no one's just a dollar sign. It's really about listening to them. I mean, Kristyna sits with her patients and knows all of their background, who they are, and people love to come back in because they're going to talk about what's going on in their lives. So it's a really good atmosphere here.
Our employees are so knowledgeable too. Like we have all of our nurses, they're passionate.
They care.
They work so hard. They will hang a picture for us because they love this place so much. You know what I mean? Like people really go hard for us, and it means a lot.
So, Katie, you kind of touched on some of the services that Captivate has, but from facials, filler, Botox, IVs, sauna, energy work, weight loss, supplements, laser, I could go on all day. What is one thing that you think anyone walking in the door could benefit from?
Go ahead, Katie. You answer.
I think that people are probably going to expect me to say IV therapy, but
I would say that.
it is right for everyone. Everyone's going to have nutrient deficiencies or dehydration. Like 75% of the population is chronically dehydrated. So when you come in, you get an IV. That's the reason why I wanted to start Captivate with these ladies, is because I was traveling all the time, and there would be IV places out in LA when I was having meetings, but it didn't exist here. And so it's an opportunity for people to come in. We have private rooms. We have an IV lounge. We have a menu that curated to what someone needs. And everyone feels so much better after IV therapy. And we have a whole gamut of IVs, just from the dehydration IV up to the NAD IV, which I could talk about for days. But
It's a whole podcast.
Yeah, it's a whole podcast. Yeah.
A whole series.
I think IV therapy is right for everybody. And if you haven't tried it, I strongly recommend it.
So anyone else have anything? I was talking to one of our estheticians, and she'd mentioned that dermaplaning can maybe be
That's
something
a
that
goodie.
everyone could benefit. But I don't know. I mean, there's so many things, but
I
I
would
just
say
think that
microneedling. Microneedling is the most underrated treatment.
Yeah, for sure.
And it does so much. Again, needs a whole podcast on itself, but stimulates collagen, helps with pigmentation, texture, tone, so many things. The list goes on and on and on. Microneedling.
With natural results.
Yes.
Yeah.
Microneedling is such a tremendously powerful treatment, and does not get the attention.
We have a
it
lot of
deserves.
people who come in for microneedling, and the more that people learn about it, they realize it's essential.
Yeah. Everyone can benefit from it. I mean,
Do I get to answer the question?
Yeah, go ahead, Rebecca.
I'm going to say sauna. I'm obsessed with infrared sauna, and
Whose idea was the sauna?
the science behind it is so interesting, guys. Stimulates the mitochondria, gets your blood flowing. It lowers your risk for heart disease. It helps with relaxation. It helps people sleep better. It helps detoxify the body. I think everyone can benefit from that. I mean, yes, unless you're like 100 years old. Maybe.
Get an IV and then go in the sauna.
Yeah.
100%.
Boom. Everybody.
combo.
And microneedling.
Yes.
You got to do
Do
a
it all.
package.
Yeah,
You can do it all at one time.
You got to do a package for all of our
for
favorites.
sure.
Rebecca, can you talk to me about how it's been to be the leader in the area for some work that you're doing here at Captivate?
I have to say I'm very passionate about it, but it has been a lot of work. I think there's a lot of education that comes with it. There's a lot of stigmatism that comes with it. But my vision, if you ask me, what I'm most passionate about, it's ketamine therapy. It's a medication I use in the operating room that I'm super comfortable with, that has shown amazing clinical results for people that have been struggling, and including mental health in the conversation with self-care has been, just something I believe, and I think the three of us believe firmly in. Everyone knows somebody in their family or a friend or somebody that's struggling with depression, anxiety, addiction. And so we can't ignore it as a medical community, and we don't ignore it at Captivate. And so some people will be like, well, why are you doing this at a med spa? And, we're not a med spa. And, but it's been bumpy, and we've had to make a lot of connections and meet new people. I mean, psychiatry and psychology have always been an interest in mine, but I didn't know that community in the area. So it's been a lot of work of, community outreach, education, and just, again, sticking with it.
Yeah.
We've actually had some doors close on us because people said we can't be involved in that part of what you're doing.
A practice that provides ketamine therapy.
And we actually just said, okay, well, thank you so much for your time, but we will not be compromising on what we came here to do.
Yeah.
And that goes back to how strongly we echo what Rebecca said. I mean, she is the leader in this field, and it's something that we, I think, have learned so much about. And just once you see these patients before and after, I mean,
Yeah.
you want to cry. You really it makes you so emotional because it's so incredible and impactful.
Yeah.
It's really awesome.
And I'll point to you, Kristyna. You also are a leader in what you do. If you want to chat a little bit about just how much of an expert you are in injectables.
I won't.
Tell people.
No.
Talk about yourself.
I don't. Everyone who knows me knows I don't like to talk about myself.
I know I'm putting you on the spot.
I know.
But you are like a master at it, and just
it's something that I've just immersed myself in.
Yes.
I love what I do. It's a huge passion of mine. Like both of these ladies, we each have something that we're very passionate about. I'm extremely passionate about it, getting safe results, great results, helping people. I like to think we're doing our own sort of therapy in there, but just so many times people leave and they're like so emotional and like, oh my gosh, you don't understand what I've been struggling with. And it's amazing. It's incredible. I'm so lucky to do what I do. I work very hard. I watch and I learn all the time. And I'm just always investing back in this to be the best injector you could ever meet. And people always come in, they're like, what about this new or this or that? And I'm like, well, we're going to take time to make sure it's right for our patients, it's safe for our patients. And we're always on the cusp of everything new, but always making sure we're fundamentally sound.
Yeah.
And I do always want to be, I strive to be the best at what I do. I work very hard and I care a lot about my patients and everything. So we're always making sure we're doing the best we can do safely.
And I think that's noticeable to people. And that's when you get recognition for your results and, they speak for themselves. And then the injectable community begins to recognize her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She is the best at what she does.
Yes.
I like to say also that I feel like I was kind of on the forefront of this, like natural injectables. I'd never been one to be a fan of distorting anyone's face. And that's when people come in and they see everyone when they walk in, they're like, wow, everyone looks like themselves. I'm like, yeah, because we just want you to look like yourself. Just rest at all these things. So we're trying to do the best, be the best at what we do and just keep it very natural and beautiful. And that's all we're trying to do.
Yeah. And here at Captivate, everyone's on the same page. And Katie, I'll point this question towards you. Can you talk about your team a little bit? Some of the nurses that you have, they also make up a huge part of Captivate.
Yeah.
So what makes them so unique, professional, and right for Captivate?
I feel like, we started just the three of us, right?
Yeah.
Across the street in a small little office. And then as we grew, it became like our foundation, family is our foundation. It became people we knew who joined our team. And our team has always been about hiring someone who we know. I don't think there's one employee here that isn't connected to one of us in some form or another.
Now one of our new employees.
Or one of our new employees, yeah. So it's all about like this interconnectedness of all of us. We have a really strong team and everyone will fight for the other person and everyone wants to be a part of everything and want to teach people about it and the passion. If you hear like Riley talk about an IV to someone, it's almost like I was talking to them about it.
Yeah.
And it's just, I couldn't be more proud of what we built. Like you have to make sure that your team is happy to be there. And we've worked really hard to make sure they're happy and provide support. And which is why we hired a practice manager, because sometimes we get burnt out and we can't provide everybody what they need. So I think that we have a really phenomenal team.
One way that makes everyone feel super comfortable, super welcomed is events and doing things in the office together and then out of the office together. Yeah. And I want to move forward now to some of the future things happening with all of you guys. Yeah. So I'll ask Kristyna, what events do you host during the year? People can recognize that they can meet nurses and you guys all come together for the community.
We do a lot of different events. Yeah. I think everyone's favorite events are always the golf events, right? Yeah. It's just fun. Right. We're outside. All the golfers are there. They're having fun. So we do a lot of those events just because, again, they're fun. And those are always the ones that everyone's like, I want to be on the list for that because it's just, it's exciting. You're in the community. You're meeting a lot of people. Just the energy is really fun. Yeah. We've done some yoga events, which we really love. I think that a lot of what we do ties in really nicely to yoga. We've partnered with yoga studios. We also, as a team, as Captivate, we go out and we do some of these things together as almost like team bonding and everyone loves that. We exercise together, everyone feels better. We come back, we talk about how sore we are the next day,
and then we don't do it again for
a long time.
Once a year.
Yeah, we've done different brunches. So we just are always
the brunches are always a good one too.
Yeah. So
we're gonna have a little brunch coming up here soon.
Yeah. We're always
our Halloween
trying to be
party is
fun.
a big hit.
Yes.
Yeah, our ambulance.
I know.
Yes, I wanted to touch on that. So that's a big part
So fun.
of the brand. It's unique. Not many other places have that, going to the patient instead of having them come to us. Katie, why was that important for you to have?
No one around here provided mobile services.
Okay.
And it was something we talked about very early on. You can go places in bigger cities and a nurse will come to you to do IV therapy. But not here. You couldn't do that. So we not only wanted to provide mobile services, but also have a mobile representation of us. So like we have an ambulance that's wrapped for Captivate. We bring it to events. We go down, and use it as a almost marketing tool, but then we can provide services with it as well. We're just really passionate about being out in the community. All these events all do that for us. So.
Yeah. Plus, it's really fun.
And
Yes,
it's really
it is
fun to
fun
ride
to
in the
drive.
My
ambulance.
husband my husband comes and takes it, and he's just like, I'm gonna take the ambo for a spin. Okay, I'm like, okay.
Just for a couple minutes.
Just drive it all the time.
It's a force.
It's fun.
So where do you guys see Captivate, both locations and the brand as a whole, in 5 years, 10 years?
I think
is
you
a lot.
said it runs like a well-oiled machine. I'd like to even make it even a better well-oiled machine. I want to provide our employees, our team, with like feeling empowered to run things smoothly when we're not here too. We're always going to grow. We're going to learn what's best. Kristyna and I are going to like a conference here in October to learn like what's up and coming as well. And Rebecca is going to be learning a little bit more about peptides as well. So.
Secrets.
Things coming.
Yeah, lots of things. We're
Growth.
constantly evolving. I think just maintaining that we continue to set the standard in this area.
So before we officially wrap up the first episode of the Captivate Standard, is there anything else you guys want to talk about? Let the viewers know, anyone listening.
I just want to add,
Okay.
I'm going to get emotional because I never do, but
I
it's
always
really
wanna
been such an honor and a pleasure to be on this journey with you two. This has been like a long time coming. We've worked really hard to be here.
Yeah.
And we care a lot, and I care about a lot about both these ladies, and we're very lucky. I know.
We've come so far and through a lot of, like we said, adversity in the beginning. And I think that any other three people maybe would have tore each other down or given up or
Torn each other apart.
Yeah.
yeah, hopefully not down. But I think that we have a respect for each other that goes beyond professional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it's all because we know each other's families so well. And we know that at the core of every decision is our family and
And each other.
Good people.
yeah.
Yeah.